What is up, kids? It's me, Chelsea. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the second Disney podcast. Today we are doing Mulan 2. I am joined by Tara.
Hi.
And Jimothy.
Hello.
Welcome. We're all a fan, I would say, of the first movie, Mulan.
Yeah.
It is a very good message, and it's entertaining and lovely.
It's got some bangers in there, too.
It's got straight bangers. It's got amazing music, and the animation in and of itself, of course, is
action.
Disney's finest. Yes. And it's not based around the whole, damsel in distress is only succeeded because of love. That's an afterthought. Love it. Mulan 2, however, what were your thoughts?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Alright, so the very first note that I have is that, and okay, so it's let's go back. I'm going to harp on this a lot, and I don't mean to. So I said, let's start with the cover photo, because they don't look like the same person. So you look at Mulan in 1, and you look at Mulan in 2, and you're like, yo, that ain't the same person. So animation in general, same as Hunchback, it's just not as good.
It goes
it's
from
lazy.
College graduate to 3rd grade.
So, I would never be able to draw nearly as good. So, I don't want to just keep insulting people that make these, films, because, good on ya. But I just kept thinking that, alright, so here's what I was thinking. You guys know LuLaRoe?
LuLaRoe, the leggings?
Yeah. So, they hire legitimate, designers, out of, design school. And they're, people who, want to actually create designs. Not anymore, because now they're, everybody realized that they're an MLM and they're awful. But they were hiring, legit designers. But then they were saying, all right, I need you to come up with, 500 designs by, noon. And sorry about your break. You can take it if you want, but then you're going to fall behind. So I was I'm thinking it's like them, right? They have to do all these designs a day just to keep up, and then they just end up with these stupid rainbow unicorn nasty ass random some stolen design leggings.
Just take stock photos off of Google and put them on leggings.
So it's Disney looks at their direct to DVD animators and say I want you to make it look like the first one. But you got Mulan 2, Aladdin 2, Little Mermaid 2, Hunchback 2, and it's all due by 6 p.m. So let's get going.
And it's just you now. Instead of that giant team of Disney,
it's just you by yourself.
In a basement shackled to a space heater. Get it done.
Right, good luck.
Yeah.
So that's they just made all of this direct-to-DVD movies by these animators.
Food is for winners. If you want to eat, you better produce.
4 hours.
It's you know how in sport, in high school sports or whatever, when you were just winning by such a large margin that the coach is just all right, C team, okay, freshmen, people that just terrible, but we have to have them because we have to be inclusive. I feel that's what Disney does in the sequels.
And you're the direct-to-DVD team.
Yeah. You're still in art school. You're the direct-to-DVD. While the A team here is the prime time.
Our Imagineers over here.
Yeah. And there's very little effort. And then story-wise, too. Just even the start of the story, it's how lazy can you be?
Okay, well, our opening scene is legit a straw-blown jacuzzi for Mushu. Which, in case anybody was wondering, no, they could not get Eddie Murphy for the sequel. He was too busy for that. And
which makes his voice actor kind of impressive.
Actually, no, his voice actor does do a very good impression, yes.
Yeah. That was surprising. I didn't realize it wasn't Eddie Murphy, and it was very on point. But yeah, no, in the first movie, it's they had a reason to dislike Mushu. He was just kind of this side guy who did nothing but ring the gong and wake people up. So it's him being loud and sassy. It's shut up, you're just a gong ringer. But now he legit helped Mulan save all of China, and he's asking for some respect. I mean, he's overboard and has asked for respect. But, why are the ancestors a bunch of dickheads? Why do they make them disrespectful, rude people who are yeah, Mushu's out, haha. And then they turn into ghost stares, which I hate.
Ghost stares.
Yeah,
well, you know what kills me is, at first I totally get your point, but then you watch the movie and you're I fucking hate you, Mushu. And I love him in the first movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then so the movie just makes you absolutely hate Mushu.
Yeah.
How many...
A dickhead non-character who just wants to ruin things based on his own selfish actions. And in the first movie... he's selfish for 10 seconds, but he actually cares about Mulan's progression.
Yeah.
He's got her back. But, I don't know.
How many movies establish the conflict within the first minute and a half?
Yeah.
That whole sequence, it's you know exactly what the movie's going to be about, like, right after that scene.
Yeah, and it kind of makes the main plot point an afterthought, too, because it's like, oh, so Mushu's just going to try and ruin their relationship. Well, what's going to be happening?
That is the main plot point.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah, no, everything else is a side note, because that's the driver.
It's like, you know who was everyone's favorite characters? Those 3 goofy guys. How do we bring them back? Let's get them laid. We just need to get them laid so we can have some kind of conflict that Mushu tries to Three's Company.
I said that 10 minutes later. I'm like, all right, it's Three's Company. That's so funny.
Yeah, and then it ends up being an accident that tears them apart, like a legitimate argument that was totally unnecessary. And then even when they resolve that argument, it has nothing to do with anything Mushu did. So, like, they had an outside argument about their own views.
I was, like, mad at that. I mean, maybe we'll get to it later.
We
will,
I was,
like, mad.
The actual, like, part where they broke up and started having issues, it wasn't because, like, Mushu knocked something down. It wasn't because, like, Mushu made something, like, happen. It was because they actually had conflicting viewpoints and weren't willing to compromise. Right. But then when Mushu's like, oh, my bad, then it was like, oh, because it was you, it's fine. Yeah, that was annoying. Also, the mountain that they're on is the mountain from Emperor's New Groove, and that's very upsetting to me, because I understand Disney recycles footage, but for their good movies, like Jungle Book and then Robin Hood, not for this shit. Also, your burps are fucking killing me, man. Stop. Dude's over here fucking burping his head off. It smells like bad salami, and I need you to stop. What else do we got? The fucking rake in the beginning annoyed me.
Oh, yeah. So, also... Lesson number 1, also known as I'll Make a Man Out of You Too, but bad and with little girls instead.
Yeah, bad for females. You know, because you also have to be soft. You don't have to be swift like the forcing rain. You have to be soft like a cloud. And also stiff like bamboo. Or fluid like bamboo.
Hashtag recycle.
It's weirdly paradoxical for the first one. Because the first one is all like, yay, female empower. She can be a man, you know, like a soldier, like a man.
She learns how to, you know, be the same level that they are.
And
like,
then,
just 'cause she's a girl.
but this time, teaching the girls kind of like cheapened it.
It did cheapen it a little bit, because it's not like, if it was like a bunch of kids who were like, we want to be strong like you, but it was all girls, and the song itself was like dulled down with less force. It was like a blanketed carbon copy of the song. And it came in 2 seconds. Like,
right, and then, like, these girls that never appeared ever again.
Yeah,
so
that was
like, it was literally a song to have a song, because there's only 5 numbers in this movie, and I think
there was
only
5.
a couple of them are sung. I think maybe 2 or 3 of them are sung. So there's only, like, 5 songs in general, and then... So I think they just opened with it so that they could have a song that was the same as, like, I'll Make a Man Out of You, because that was such, like, a hit.
Like, this is still the same Mulan you like.
Yeah.
Also, again, her face annoys me, because the whole time she's talking, she's like, Mimi, her cheeks are pushed up into her eyes, and she has, like, that mouth smile, and it's like, what are you doing? Why are you fucking with her face like that?
Yeah.
That's not Mulan's face.
That's not what you look like.
she looks like a friggin' psychopath. Yeah, no, so that song's useless. And then the introduction of the 3 guys, like, immediately you don't like them anymore, because they're like, their whole thing is, I want a girl who worships me like a god. Who sees...
They said that in the first one,
They did, but they did it like they were army guys who were meant to be represented in a way that was kind of harsh on females, because they didn't want them in the army. But now they know Mulan, and they know they're capable, and they still want...
Side note, when I talk about recycling music, they took... a girl worth fighting for, and just changed the words, and it's the same exact song.
It's the same exact song, except instead of fighting for, they're like, please send me a lady, tips Fedora, and like, yeah, same freaking song,
and
but
it
for
is
chicks.
the same exact song.
Yeah, and why only those 3? Like, they had an army of guys, and I get that they were like,
But those were the 3 guys.
But why would they still be together after the war?
Maybe they're just really good friends, and they just like each other.
I don't know. Where did everyone else go, though? They don't meet up with their buddies. They don't just like, hey, we fought in the war together, let's have drinks. It's just those 3 guys together, and then simultaneously 3 princesses, because reasons.
Oh, convenient.
But also... Man. Eventually, at the end, sorry for the spoilers, but, I mean, we're spoiling the whole movie. At the end, there's only one son.
No. He said...
Oh, does he say my eldest son?
Yes, he says my eldest son, who's still, like, 10 years old. So it's like...
Also, yeah, because the youngest girl that was going was like a little younger than Mulan, who had to be the guy's age because she was interested in Poe, who was like probably in his late 20s.
Right. Yeah, no, so, because the son is like, she's so old.
Yeah, but
So, like, they're all definitely older than his 3 sons, because that is the kid playing with the friggin' Chinese handcuffs. Yeah.
which means the eldest sister would have married him.
Yes.
And then they just get younger from there.
Which is
creepy and gross.
Although probably historically accurate.
Probably, but still Disney.
But,
like, don't play that game. Could have
yeah.
at least made him like, I would have been less offended if they at least made him like an older, decent, regal gentleman instead of a dude who doesn't understand how Chinese finger traps work, which feels a little
offensive.
bad. Yeah, very offensive.
Well, to be fair, his dad doesn't either, because he then also uses the Chinese handcuffs.
He does.
Not do very well with them either.
Right. But, royalty and the whole thing that they bring up beforehand is that, like,
the whole ending is, like, so confusing. I was, like, watching it going, like, what's happening?
I don't know. And then he just does the same trick he does from Mushu.
Yeah.
Fucking gets in the dragon's mouth and is like, I am this dragon.
Yeah,
There's the same thing he did in the last movie to be like, oh, I'm the great dragon. But also, why do you have a dragon of marriage as your main symbol? Dragon of unity. As the main
Chelsea,
symbol.
why do we have a love festival where we yell each other's names?
Convenience.
Yeah.
But don't you think, like, if their main god was a dragon of unity, then they wouldn't have had a problem uniting with another kingdom without the violence?
Fair.
Right? Sorry. I'm so angry. Oh, my thing about Mushu too was B-plot of Mushu playing Timon and Pumbaa for too long. Yeah.
That's what, I said, let's throw in some conflict. Mushu gets fired unless Mulan doesn't get married, and they don't want any of the same things because they're actually the total opposite. Cue yin-yang necklaces.
So yeah, this whole movie takes place a couple of months after the events, is what they say.
Do they say that?
Yeah, a couple of months since it happened. And so, of course they don't know anything about each other, and they shouldn't be getting married. So, that makes sense. So, like, legit, of course, they know absolutely nothing about each other other than they're both attractive and went to war.
Yeah.
Like, that's... So, they could have said a couple years later, but no, within the movie, they're like, oh, it's been a few months since you saved China, and I want you to help again.
Okay, so...
Marry me.
So I don't know if we, like, totally were clear about what happened. So anyway, Mulan and Shang get a mission from the Emperor, who has a surprise 3 daughters, and he says they are betrothed to another kingdom, and his 3 sons, convenient. Can you please deliver them? Right? So at the very, like, as soon as they get this mission, Shang's like, all right, honor, yes, we'll bring them. And Mulan's, like, super opposed to this arranged marriage, and, like, is like, but you should get married for love, which, like, not that I disagree, but, like, that's totally appropriate for the time period.
Yeah, and maybe, unifying 2 kingdoms with this arranged marriage, because they don't know if they're gonna like them yet, but you're unifying 2 kingdoms over violence with these 3 chicks who are just like, yeah, of course, it's our duty to our father, we understand. And the only reason they don't is because you got these 3 guys who also want girlfriends, who are more important.
Well, they are sad. They are sad prior to meeting these men, but then we have our, I thought it was so funny because I was laughing at you when it happened. We have our Cinderella moment, right?
Yeah.
Where the princess's slipper falls off her foot, and then the guy with the bad eye, the short one, like, puts the slipper back on her foot, and I'm like, oh, Cinderella moment.
Oh, there it is.
Which, like, I think that the only reason that he fell in love first was because he was the only one without, like, anything in common with the princess that he was, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he had nothing.
They had nothing, because the other one's, like, and I mean, not saying that this is, like, a great foundation for a relationship, but, like, the younger one and what's his name? The Poe. They're like, oh my god, we love food, and that's, like, the one thing they have in common.
Yeah.
And then the older one, who is actually Lucy Liu, is voiced by Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu.
And what's his face are, like,
oh, they're funny. They have the same sense of humor.
Although, like, her laugh is not cute and he is not funny, but, like, that's the thing.
No, that's not.
That's the thing they have in common.
No sense of humor. I just hate when she says that.
And then she sticks the chopsticks in her nose, like, oh my god.
Oh, that's a joke I do.
Right. So that's what they have in common. But then the other, it's what they just have in common, just like love. Like love is what they have in common.
That's cool.
I mean,
That's
whatever.
fine.
But like, they actually, none of them have anything in common except like the one
And have
personality
very
aspect.
minimal conversation. Like, if Mulan and Shang are doing this quick, like, they're just saying they're in love. They don't even know. They've just... How many guys have they seen before this?
Mm-hmm.
This is like, okay, this is the first dude I've seen.
Yeah.
I love him. Well, say a few more. See,
Maybe like two.
maybe
two
3
more?
princes more who have more of an effect on your country and might actually be okay. I mean, we find out later that he's a weirdo, but we don't know that.
And we don't know the younger two. You could have ended up with one of the less weird ones. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's triplets.
Oh.
Disney's not making a good argument for the case that they're trying to make, that love is better than arranged, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, they try to hit you with that at the end when they're like, see what this arranged marriage would have done this loser.
Oh,
This loser over
this
her.
Chinese finger trap loser. I also don't like that they made him such a nerd. Like, I wish the prince was actually, like, a decent guy. Like,
Right, because then you could be like, look, I see that, and this is still the person I love instead.
yeah, it's like, I get it. Listen, you could have been my future, but this is the person who my heart belongs to, even though they're not as great as you.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a beautiful fucking moment, wouldn't it, Disney? Wouldn't it, Disney?
They had to make him the complete opposite.
They had to make him unlikable because conflict.
Right.
Also, can I gotta remember to do this? Can I do a count of how many times
duty counter.
Duty counter.
A duty
How many
counter.
times they say duty in this whole fucking movie?
Duty.
They say duty every 10 seconds.
But they don't. So, and this is what I know has happened. When they decide to say duty, they say it 10 times. And then they stop for 5 to 10 minutes. And then they say duty again. And so then they say duty 10 to 15 times. And so it's like you get slapped with a pile of duties.
Yes.
Every 10 minutes.
You get slapped with a shit ton of duty. And then just within the movie itself, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. So I did a timestamp on this one because I want to get the clip for it. But Shang says, let's get back on the road. And that's when this stuff with Mushu starts happening.
Yeah.
And then they go fishing.
Yeah. I wrote, at some point they're like, oh, we're stopping to give the horses water. And then you see them when she talks to Mulan when they're saying duty a bunch of times.
Yeah.
They're packing back up. I'm like, why did you, if you're stopping to give the horses, why did you unpack?
Yeah.
Why did you unpack to repack?
It's like whoever was editing this, missed parts and was like, oh shit, I need to put this somewhere. Yeah, they'd randomly be pulling stuff on and off the wagon, but camp stuff. Not horse stuff.
Yeah, it's legit.
And then they go fishing.
Yeah.
They've set up camp 4 times, and they have 3 days?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense what they're doing.
You never establish a reference point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they only show them sleeping overnight one time.
Right.
But it's 3 days.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And then during these, it's really just to show the montage of Mushu trying to ruin everything. But here's my question.
Yes.
Does Mushu really think that making him look bad or bad things are happening to him is gonna make her fall out of love? If your fiance was being chased by wild animals,
Yeah.
would you be we're not getting married? You get chased by wild animals.
What a pussy. Yeah.
Legit. Why would you? I would be oh my god, are you okay?
I wrote that here too. I wrote, how is annoying Shang going to make them break up?
Yeah.
It's just 10 minutes of Mushu pissing Shang off and Shang not knowing why it's happening.
Right.
There's no correlation between Mulan, who should be seen as the antagonizer,
Right.
and what's happening to Shang. He gets chased, there's fire someplace, he gets tripped. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
It's bad luck. It's bad things are
the
happening.
cart
to
rolls
him.
away.
I would just feel bad.
Yeah. And then it's childish shit.
It's he's waiting for Shang to rage quit and just, enough! Yeah.
And can we talk about what actually sets Shang off?
Asking for direction.
One,
Yeah.
how pathetic did they make Shang in this movie?
We're gonna fight about asking for directions.
And then they were both wrong. Because we can't make anyone, it has to be oh, you're both idiots. But Shang in the first movie was a strong, determined leader
Yeah.
who was passionate about his team. My cat's stuck in the closet. And I'm not saying he's gay. He's literally stuck in a closet right now. But Shang was he was a great, intense personality, which makes sense as to why Mulan fell for him, because she was strong herself. But in this movie, he's just a whiny fucking brat who can't, handle any kind of confrontation or communicate.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, like, they had to enhance the conflict by making him that much worse.
He's such a butt. No,
You know, like, he's that much more stubborn and, like, whiny and needy and... yeah.
And he doesn't want to, like, question anything anymore. Whereas, like, in the first movie, every conversation he had was, like, legitimate. And he had information. He's like, I am a general. I lead my troops and blah, blah, blah. And I accept, all these differences, but I want to train you to be better, blah, blah, blah. Shang, 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 shang. But in this one, it's just like that outside the tent thing Mushu did, where he pretended to be Mulan and said a bunch of crap, and then he comes out and Mulan is clearly nowhere near his tent.
Right, and he pulls the Gaston crazy face, like that's that same face, like when Gaston goes crazy in Beauty and the Beast, that's that face that he has with the bulging like veins and the big eyes and and it's like awful. I'm like, you're so friggin' ugly right now. Like, why would you even? It's
not
so
only
bad.
is she nowhere near the tent, friggin' that guy's with her. The short guy. One-eye guy. Why can't I remember their names right now?
I don't know. They all have weird names.
Hold on. I keep forgetting their names.
Yao and Ling.
Yao. Okay. Yao, Ling, and Shenpo. So Yao was there with her while she was on post, because he walked up and said, I got the next post.
Yeah.
And then Shen falls up. He's like, what the hell's... Because... You could have been sleeping, because before, when they did the dream thing, he thought he was dreaming.
Yeah. No, okay, and then side note, like, why... So, during this whole thing, like, why are the men trying to seduce these women? Like, I mean, they're literally taking them to get married.
Yeah. But they actively... Because they want love, and they're showing some kind of interest in them where no other woman has. So it's like, oh shit, this is it. This is it, boys, or nothing.
But,
Which leads into what I can... factually say is the worst Disney song that's ever been produced.
Oh, climbing trees, because tree rhymes with bee, because they want to be like other girls, so they climb trees.
Yes.
That one.
Yes. And eat a whole cake.
Because what's cake rhyme with?
She did not have a second line. She had nothing. No pinchy shoes, which also doesn't rhyme with anything. And then hands folded nicely.
Holding a lily.
Like holding a lily.
Which is also
very
racist.
offensive.
Yeah.
Which is like, that can be a saying, but why do you have to say it like holding a lily?
On like a side note, I think like 99% of the actors in Mulan, like the voice actors, are all Asian, so like props.
Yeah.
But, like...
Thanks, but no one was like, yo, can we not? Can we not?
Can we not have the racist accent?
Just like a little bit,
for, like,
it's
a
just like a
minute.
little sprinkle of offense on there.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe that's a thing that is said, but it's the context. You can say, like holding a lily, not like holding a lily. Like, they fucking make their voices go high and they make their heads turn.
Yeah.
Like, no, that song is just so stupid. It's out of nowhere, and they never preceded it with anything. They never indicated, from the beginning, they were like, we're happy to serve our father, this is our duty, we understand our place. Duty. And then suddenly, because they meet some guys they think are hot, they're like, I want to be like other girls, because I want to bang these 3 weird boys. And that's the whole reason it comes to play. That's the only reason they want freedom from being princesses.
Yeah, which honestly, again with the animation, it's just awful. They're like super like bendy and pliable and not making human movements during the whole. You know exactly what I'm saying. Like, during that whole like number, and then like the background's changing, and they're like flying, and like, I don't know.
Then they're outside.
Even the first song, they had weird movements. They just turned to paper and just like wacky waving inflatable arm Toon Man.
Yeah, it's so strange. It's like they gave up. Oh man, and I think I would have enjoyed it better if the one who ended up with the name I can't remember, Ling.
The older one
stood her ground a little longer, but all it took was no pinchy shoes, and she was out. And it's like,
right, let's get it.
Girls, I feel like even if she should have more naturally fallen in love with Ling. even if the other two were younger and like a little more naive on
But
what.
she needed to laugh at his puns.
Oh. That's her laugh.
It was really bad puns.
Yeah.
And she didn't even laugh at him until a friggin' firework exploded in his face.
Yeah. And then they were in love.
Damn love.
Yeah.
And then they all run away because they want to go enjoy their time together. And they want to be like other girls and they want to have love. And so then they run away like just for like the night. And then Mushu wakes up Shang after Mulan goes after them. And Shang reads a letter that the middle one, that her duty is to her heart.
Which,
duty.
of course, Mulan said earlier.
Right.
But
So
he wasn't there to hear that.
Letter leads to a misunderstanding because it's Three's company.
Yes.
And I said this before we got to that part. I said, I'm guessing right now that Shang is going to think this is all Mulan's fault. And what happened?
He did.
He did.
He thought it was her fault.
He thought it was all her fault.
And then they proceeded to continue walking. And then he allowed Yao to be like, it's too bad I can't talk to the princesses,
Right.
because if I could talk to the princess, I'd say how pretty she is.
Yeah.
And they're like 2 feet from each other. And it's like, dude, Shang, paying the fuck attention, man?
No, yeah.
Okay. Like, what a useless scene.
So you know what kills me is like, okay, so the writing in this thing is horrible. The writing is really, really terrible.
Oh, yeah.
There's a line earlier where she's like, how do you know you're in love? And she's like, deep down. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then like this part when Mulan's like, you have some splaining to do. And they're like, no, Mulan, we're in love. Like him and me and him and me and him and me. We're all in love with each other. Like this super fast. You've known each other 24 hours, probably if we're going off the 3-day period.
Yeah.
We love each other, and all of a sudden she like turns into this like sorority
She turns into
girl.
friggin' Anna from Frozen in
And
the
she's
first
like,
movie. Oh my god, yes!
Legit.
That
And,
is
like,
not Mulan.
No.
Mulan knows better. And then the moment Mushu comes clean and he's like, I was annoying Shang. Mulan's like, oh, that's why we were fighting. No, you were fighting because he was being a dick.
He was being a jerk. When he's like, this is all your fault, Mulan said that she started this and she doesn't want you to get married for like... I'm like, oh my god, like, she didn't even do anything,
No,
jackass.
you were being a dick. And just because Mushu's like, oh, I played some pranks and... that had nothing to do with why
the
you
actual
really
fight, yeah.
She's like, oh, I better tell him I love him. And then random bandits that were barely mentioned that are just discount Hun.
Right.
Because they're
well,
the same
They're
characters.
gray, so you know they're bad.
Gray people
But
are
they're
evil.
not Huns, they're Mongols.
They're Mongols.
But they look the same.
But they're bandits. That were said to be through this crevice that earlier on when they were talking about which way not to go,
They went through
they
it
went
anyway.
that way even though they had agreed not to go that way.
Yeah. But
But
gray
that happened.
Gray people means evil.
Brr, Disney. And so they cut the bridge they're trying to cross, kind of.
Wait, before that happens,
Yes.
did you notice the rope from nowhere that saves the day? Like, there's a rope that's dangling in the middle of nowhere that Mulan, like, jumps on and, like, kicks somebody from. I was like, where the hell did that rope come from?
Well, no, I have no idea what you're talking
Oh
about.
my god, it happens right before they run on the bridge and they cut the bridge, but they don't finish cutting the bridge.
Hold on.
It's right before that, and I don't know, like, there's a rope from nowhere that she uses.
A rope from nowhere.
Yeah.
Here's the ambush. Hold
It's,
on.
yeah.
I've got to talk to Shang. Tell him I love him. Yeah.
Tell him I love him!
Make it up to you. I promise.
Forget it. You've helped enough.
Didn't help at all.
He did nothing.
I was literally waiting for her to just like throw him away.
Close ranks. Save the princesses.
Oh, maybe it's one of their ropes. I didn't realize that they all came down on ropes.
Come with me.
Shang, I got your back.
Yeah, they've also got swords.
So it's one of their ropes.
Why take my hand? It's a ramp. And then you just knock her over. He says, take my hand, and immediately pulls her to the ground. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, so it is. It's one of their ropes.
So I didn't realize they all came in on ropes.
Oh,
I was like, where did that rope come from?
oh shit. Also, I'm pretty sure at the beginning of this movie they said that these guys are the best warriors in the Chinese army.
Oh yeah, they feel like crap.
Like,
And they're getting their
look at him.
asses-
He's like, "Urgh."
He's doing the creep.
Look at this guy. There's no fucking way that these chubby mother truckers are kicking their butts. So yeah, they cut the rope, but they only cut one half of the rope.
Right, so that the bridge is still half there.
So instead of assuring that they die, which
They're
is
just
the
like,
goal,
Let's get out of here.
hurry, they're gonna keep following us. Okay, I'm not gonna cut this one though. Not that
I
one.
don't have enough time for that.
Because we need drama. We need Shang to fall to his doom, not really. So Shang dies, kinda, not really. And then one of the things that annoyed me, so Mulan goes to the palace to give herself...
Side note, when he gets pulled out of the river, he's dressed like Pocahontas.
Yeah, where's his armor go?
I don't know.
Where's everything
I was
go?
literally like, why is he dressed like Pocahontas?
I think that
right
happens
now?
again, too. When he's wearing full armor and then he gets pulled out of the water. It's super a non-issue. But Mulan goes, leaves everyone behind. You know, the princess that she's supposed to be protecting leaves with these 3 dudes who just want to bang them for their safety. And then Shang comes back. Shang rides his horse,
Yep.
knowing Mulan went to the castle, and goes to tell them not to go to the castle, and then goes to the castle.
Yes.
You could have just gone to the castle. Because all he knows is that the mission is to get the princesses to the castle,
Yeah.
which he knows Mulan would continue because, you know, it's Mulan.
Right.
Instead, he goes back to them and says, do not go to the castle. And then goes. But his change of heart, where'd that come from?
I think maybe it was like almost dying.
Yeah?
But and then she was like, I don't know where they at because the thing fell. We got ambushed, so I'ma just offer myself up to your
I'm gonna just
son.
marry your boy.
Marry
And they
your
were
son.
like, okay, yeah. They were like, oh, Mulan's way more important than 3
Well,
princesses.
I don't even think that was the thing. I think she's like, they're like, oh no, like this will work out because she's pretty important because she saved China that one time. You remember? And
Couple
if
months ago.
if we don't know where they at, and they can't marry your sons, like just take Mulan.
Yeah,
Just
but that's
take her.
not what he said. He said, this is fucking Mulan. This is way more valuable than 3 princesses. He says they're more valuable.
Does
That's,
he?
yeah, that's not true. There's no way, because the emperor that she was saving himself is more important. Therefore, his daughters are. And it's more of a connection to the kingdom, because Mulan could be like, all right, I'm moving, guys.
Word to your mother.
Peace. Or like, now I'm part of this kingdom because I married him and I have no connection to the emperor of the other kingdom. So they're like, oh yeah, we're way more powerful now. We got the chick who saved China. Let's go take China. It's on our side now. Okay, Mushu can't marry people. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Mushu can't marry
Let's
people.
do the gold dragon impersonation thing again. Hashtag recycled.
Yeah. Hashtag this whole movie is recycled garbage.
Well, so is Hunter. Like, it's all so, like, I feel like that's all we're gonna see is just, like, a retelling of the same story, but with additional characters.
Yeah.
Is all we're gonna see in all of these movies.
I feel like the 2s should be like an addition, like another tale completely utilizing the same characters.
Right.
And it's like, you can send the same message twice. You can say like, yeah, women are strong. You could have taken the princesses, made it a bit longer, and instead of adding love interests, maybe introducing an outside world they weren't used to,
Right.
that now they want to get to know more before they get married and save their country. Like, maybe I want to experience a normal girl's life before I do this forever. That would have been interesting. And taking out this whole Mushu subplot about him trying to break them.
Awful.
Totally
So
useless.
awful.
Totally useless.
whole time
It
I
didn't
was
even
thinking,
create
like,
conflict.
Shut the fuck up, Mushu.
Even without Mushu doing that, it would have happened anyway. Because they argued outside
Right,
of that.
They just wouldn't have, like, broken their carriage.
They just needed Mushu to be in the movie.
Which technically they didn't need to, because Eddie Murphy did not sign on to do this film.
Yeah. They literally could have just not included Mushu. That's it.
I think if they didn't include Mushu, every fan would have been like, where the fuck's Mushu?
They could have done like a thing though, where Mushu like sees her off, and like if there comes a time, like in the movie when those guys attack, maybe he shows up and breathes some dragon fire and said, "I knew you were in trouble." You know, Guardian Dragon, like something sassy
that.
like that. I would have taken that, but he totally friggin' unnecessary.
That really was the driving plot, was him trying to break them up, not them trying to get the princesses to the whatever, because that didn't even happen. It didn't even come to fruition. It wasn't even the princesses falling in love. It was literally Mushu tries to break up Mulan and Shang.
Yeah.
Like, that was the movie.
And they fall in love kind of.
Like,
Well, it's
Mulan
happening.
2, Mushu is an asshole. Like, it's literally what it is.
Mulan 2. Mushu's a dickhead. Yeah, no, it's the whole movie. If they could have done something like this with 3 princesses and it would have been cool. Fine. Or even Mulan showing them how to be stronger or defend themselves. Like there's some kind of maybe threat against the princesses and she has to show them how to be strong and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. The movie is just like, oh, we already have all the music. We already have the characters.
Maybe we just change those words up a little bit.
Just put this song at the front. We're going to put this song over here. We're going to take music. We're going to put them on the outside. We're going to take those gray people, put them on the bridge. They're going to stay on the bridge.
The gray people are always on the bridge.
Yeah, there's always some kind of bridge. And it's like, it's the same shit. Even the action, the 10 seconds of action scene.
That really is it. There's
That's
no other action except
nothing.
for right there.
It's just walking, fishing, and Mushu playing jokes. It's Dennis the fucking Menace the movie. And it's annoying as shit. I just can't stand it. Cause like, I keep trying to look for second movies in Disney that are good.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And they like don't exist.
Doesn't-
They straight up don't exist.
No.
It
there's-
never happens.
No.
No.
I mean, at least, I think we should do Pocahontas 2 next, because at least they did an attempt at a different story.
It legit hurts my soul. I mean, I'll watch it, but it hurts my soul.
Have you seen it?
Thinking when I was little.
Mm.
And I remember thinking when I was watching it, like, I don't know, this is awful. Like, there's like a bear baiting scene.
Oh, yeah.
And then I also know that it was like 3rd grade history class, and I was like, what do you mean Pocahontas married John Rolfe? Like, I was distraught.
Yeah.
Like,
So, I don't know, I did find a couple of 2s that didn't annoy me that much, but Mulan 2 is just like, from beginning to end, it's useless. And then the whole thing with the grandma betting on if he's gonna come and ask him to marry her, what was that? They like,
she just said that she won the pool, so like there's a bet going if he was going to ask her to marry him or not.
yeah. But like, just between them.
I don't know. She's just supposed to be comic relief, you know? Do you want to stay for dinner? Do you want to stay forever? Like, it's just what she does.
She's cute. But, like, if everyone knew he was going to propose to her anyway, was he talking about it?
Yeah.
Why is there no precedence behind this?
You know what's weird?
Yeah.
And maybe it shouldn't have bothered me, because it really, like, it's an ancient, like, thing. But those, like, yin-yang necklaces really bothered me.
Why?
Because I was just like, I felt like they were too, this is so stupid because it's an ancient symbol.
Yeah.
But I felt like they were too modern for them to be like, because it like didn't like, I was seeing it around their necks and I was
Like something you get at Sephora?
yeah.
And just like, it's like, oh, you're getting your makeup? Here's your free yin-yang necklace.
Yeah, legit, like you and your best friend are here you go.
It was
like,
totally unnecessary.
it's like, I understand why, like, it was like, that was the thing. It was like below Mulan 2, they had like the symbol. And I understand, I comprehend that it is an ancient Chinese symbol.
But
I
did they
get
really,
that,
like, give
but they
jewelry?
wore those,
they
I don't
just-
know. They wore those necklaces the whole time, and I kept looking at it, going like, "We at Hot Topic?" Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like it was the nature of the necklace over the symbol that was like that. Like,
yeah, that's it. Just
like the
just,
friendship necklaces that, like, you put them together and they say best
Best friends.
friends.
yeah, that's what it. Like, that's what I just kept being like. I can't. It kept taking me out. I kept like thinking,
Yeah.
we're at the mall.
And then also, like, sometimes they do things like this with foreshadowing. Where it's like, oh, yin and yang, dark and light. You know, where she sings a whole fucking song about it. Good, bad, strong, weak, whatever, that first song. And then it doesn't click with them later that they might have conflicting opinions, but that is the yin yang that they were talking about.
And then her parents straight up talked to them about it when they gave them the necklaces.
Like, yo, you're gonna fight and disagree, but that just makes your relationship stronger. And they're just like, peace, yo. You don't want to ask for directions?
we're too different.
We're too different. You know, exactly like it was explained earlier in the movie, except now we're angry.
Like, way to pick a more, like, bland stereotype.
Also, Cricket wouldn't still be alive. Crickets don't live that long. Fuck Cricket.
Cricket was like the only reason that like Mushu even like partially had his shit together.
He didn't. And every time Mushu did the her thing,
Which was like 500
it's like,
times.
dude, we get it. We know. We were watching the movie. We know you're in it for yourself. Like, that's the point. But no, it's, there's no, there was nothing about it that was like, oh, this is cool that they did
Nothing
this.
redeemable.
No.
Absolutely nothing redeemable.
It's just another cash grab.
Also, what was the deal? Poe listening at the tent. That part was weird, because he didn't use that information. He made a face like, oh, this is good to know.
Oh, that they wanted
For the
to be
song.
normal.
Yeah, they want to be normal girls, but there's no discussion after. He doesn't like go to the guys and go be like, guys, I think they're into us. They want to be like normal girls. I think they're into this relationship. There's nothing. He just smiles. He's like, ooh, yeah. And then he walks away and we never talk about it.
Maybe he just respects their privacy, Chelsea.
He did. Not that face. That face was not a respect of privacy. That was a, ooh, I just heard something juicy face. Like,
He just heard the tea.
yeah. And also, like, their characters in the first movie were kind of peppered in throughout. So, like, they were active. But in this movie, it's like, okay, this is their turn to be in the movie. Okay, this is Mulan and Sheng's turn to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Now it's Mushu's turn to be in the movie. It felt like everyone had their own separate thing going on, and it wasn't interacting in the same space.
Right, no, it was disjointed.
Yeah. And then there was, like, 2 seconds of conversation about the Raiders or the whatever, and then they show up just in the time for context and blah. And then it doesn't even go into, like, when she finally gets to the palace, it doesn't go into, like, any kind of, yo, this is why we made this agreement. We don't have any kind of issue, but we wanted to make a connection. Because there was no, like, talk of war before then. It was just like, hey, yo, we're going to connect. Like, there's no huge conflict.
Yeah.
Also, our main dragon is the Dragon of Unity. And we just only unite either via violence or marriage, so.
Unite.
Yeah.
I think that's a little deep for Disney myself.
The Dragon of Unity thing, though, at the end. Like, Mushu.
The Festival of Love, Chelsea.
There's fucking...
We just make convenient things so that our stories work.
Was Halloween Town Disney?
Yes.
Halloween Town 2 was... No, it was trash. Damn it.
Calabar's Revenge!
Calabar's Revenge! This is
Every
loud.
single sequel is garbage.
I'm determined to find one.
Actually, Calabar's Revenge was much better than the other sequels, so...
Oh, the
there's
one
that.
where it's like, oh, we turned your high school into monsters.
There's Halloween Town High, and then there is Return to Halloween Town, which I refuse to watch because it's Sarah Paxton and not What's-Her-Face. And so you just can't replace Marnie, okay?
No.
You just can't do
I
it.
couldn't get through the high school. And when they turn them on to the monsters, it's just like, okay, shut up. Like, fine, shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. And they didn't. They kept talking.
No, I think they were actual monsters.
Yeah, no, they...
I don't think they turned people.
They
into
did, yeah, because...
That was the second one.
Oh, that was the second one. Yeah,
that was Calabar's Revenge.
That's the one I hate.
That was his revenge.
That's the one I hate. Yeah.
The other ones were worse.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll probably do Pocahontas next, so sorry about that. You gotta watch that. But for this one, let us know if you agreed. Did you like Mulan too? I think this was even shorter than us talking about Hunchback.
There was a lot about Hunchback.
There was a lot to hate about Hunchback too, and this movie just...
There wasn't anything to it, so there's not a whole lot to bitch about.
I know.
Like I think we covered it. Songs, bad / recycled. Animation, bad. Plot, bad. Mushu, bad.
Mushu bad.
Love, bad.
Bad. And then, oh, hold on, we didn't even talk about at the end where it's like, Mushu could have just not freaking done anything because Shang comes in who sees Mushu? Who
Well, he's
sees
not, he's not
Mushu?
invisible.
Well, they don't talk about that. It's just her spirit. So, but she can only see her ancestors. She can't see her ancestors.
I
Why
don't
can't
think
they
she can see the ghosties.
Yeah, she can't see the ghosties. Why can't we see Mushu? What is Mushu?
Mushu's a dragon.
But he's a spirit guy dragon, right?
But he's like
But
he's
he's
like
like
the
a
real. That's
legit-
why the cricket can see him. That's why the horse can see him. Like people can see Mushu.
I don't know. I don't feel like that's cool. But then Shang's like, you must be Mushu. She told me everything.
And then I
She
was
told
like,
me
I was about
everything.
to like watch the first movie again. And I'm like, he doesn't see him in the first movie. I was legit confused.
Yeah.
I thought he was like seen invisible in the first movie, but I guess not.
No, he does hide, I guess. But like, but then Shang's like, hey, we're making our houses one. Why does that make Mushu in charge again?
I think just for convenience.
They just really
I
glazed over that
don't even
one.
know why he's in charge at all. Like him being on a pedestal with everybody else.
Yeah, why is he more important?
Why is he all like blow my bubble jacuzzi with your straws, and why do they do it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why?
Because he's the guardian dragon, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
but
he
they're all
supposed to be, like,
ancestors. Like, why does it matter?
Yeah,
Why is
they're not even in the same like group.
Oh,
Like
there
the
must
great
be
guardian
some-
dragon from before wasn't friggin' having his feet scrubbed by the old people. He was outside.
He was a fucking statue.
He was a statue.
Stone.
He wasn't real.
So that's what I don't get. Like, I don't know why he, like, even gets to be an asshole in the first place, and then why them combining houses instead of her adopting his ancestors, which you probably could have seen coming anyways, because she's all like, you know, equal rights and shit.
Break tradition.
If I
Make
was-
tradition.
If I was Shen's guardian dragon, I would be pissed.
Did Shen have a guardian dragon?
I mean, I don't know if everybody has a guardian dragon
Did
or not.
his ancestors show up? Because we didn't see any of his ancestors.
No.
But I mean,
But
like,
he like brought a tablet into her ancestor and like
Here's a rock. Your dragon's safe now.
yeah, like why? I don't know.
And how would he know that would make Mushu the head one?
I don't think that. No, I don't know.
Wouldn't
They
they-
don't. They don't. There's no answer there.
There's no reason for that to happen.
they just wanted a peaceful resolution, so everyone got a happy ending.
No.
So Mushu got what he wanted.
The ancestors didn't seem too happy.
No, the ancestors are never too happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're ghosts.
Like,
so
Mulan,
fuck
why
it.
is your family such a bunch of assholes? Like, your whole family.
Well, Mushu is an asshole.
Mushu,
To them.
no, he's a huge asshole. But, like, even before in the first movie, like, all he did was ring a gong and they were like, "Rrr, you're useless. You're a weird lizard thing."
That's
Rrr,
true.
rrr, rrr. Like, also, who rings the gong now? If it was that important that somebody do it.
They were like awake without the gong.
Yeah.
So maybe nobody gongs anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just constantly awake now. Maybe that's why they're dicks.
Maybe.
Maybe I
They
too
just
would
can't.
be a dick.
They just can't sleep, so they're just cranky assholes.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'd say that's fair.
Possibly. All right. Fuck.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think
That's,
so.
that's basically it.
I really
Yeah.
can't think of anything else I can even bring onto the surface about this movie that's
I
not
feel
just
like we covered
Ugh.
so much with Hunchback 2 that it's just like a repeat. You know, like,
Hunchback was bad. It was like offensively bad compared to the first one. This was
Yeah.
just like, really, Disney?
but I
Like,
feel like we had a lot of the same
And I think
hang-ups
that
that we already
it's gonna
covered. That's
continue
why
to
we're
be the
not.
same.
yeah,
You know,
it is. Do you want to stick around and watch Pocahontas 2 with us?
No, I want to go home and deal with my disease
Tara's diseased via plants.
covered in poison ivy.
That's wonderful. I mean, horrible.
It's
to see.
awful. I hate that it's on my face.
It is.
I just hate that it's on my face. So I'm gonna go.
worse is like now that it's like super hot and summery, it's all just like sweaty and
Thank you so much. So it's just gonna spread. It's gonna spread from my face to my neck and just down my whole being.
Yeah.
Not cool, bro.
It's not cool.
And I'm just gonna go bathe in calamine lotion.
don't pop it.
Sounds fun.
I don't pop it. And I'm trying not to itch it, but I feel like it's just like look, it's just expanding. It's going all down my hands.
Is it bad I'm enjoying this conversation more than the movie?
Oh my god. I'm just like, I'm super vain. You know, fun fact about me, I don't want like my face to be ugly. I'm trying not to scratch. Like I just need to go dunk my head. Chelsea wouldn't buy me oatmeal.
I wouldn't buy you oatmeal
She
for
did
your
not.
bath.
I was at work and she refused to go to the store and buy me an oatmeal bath.
I'm the
The
worst.
bitch. And
She's the worst.
And so now I'm just suffering.
Suffering succotash.
That's alright. I shall survive.
Oh yeah. Just even like, sorry, I'm still looking at pictures from this friggin' movie and it's just like.
It's really
horrible.
bad. The movie is really bad.
Also, how did her hair grow that long from the beginning of the movie?
Magic.
Disney magic.
Hold up.
4 days of excessive growth.
This is my favorite still shot. Her choking Mushu. Look at her face.
That's a deserved joke. It's fine.
So yeah, let us know. Did you guys like Mulan 2? Are there any seconds that you like? Any Disney seconds that you want us to look into? Any that you really hate or really love? We'd be more than happy to watch it. Well, not happy to watch it. we'll suffer through it and make notes. But that's been our take on Mulan 2. As you can see, it's a 10 out of 10. Would hate again. So please like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you feel. Until next time, we'll be around. Ciao, kittens!
Bye.
Bye.